Did you guys note that when I say subscribe, it actually lights up the button? Let me know if that works. Alright, you can watch any video on YouTube right now explaining to exactly what trials are. I don't think I need to do that, but just for the sake of the video and the structure. Basically, every week there is, I think, five or six, not sure now. There's 5 or 6 feats that you can do. It's basically, shoot this robot enough times, deal enough damage to this, collect enough flowers or any kind of herbs, right, and stuff like that. And if you do it enough times, you get 3 stars. When you do 3 stars on trials, you get random drops of something, some items. Sometimes it's even blueprints, sometimes it's purple weapons. Sometimes it's nothing special at all. Once you get 1 star, you get green rarity. Once you get 2 stars, you get blue rarity. Once you get 3 stars, you get purple rarity, and that's it. But there is, like I said, there is 5 or 6 of these every week, so it's like you get a lot of drops anyway. The real focus of trials actually is the rank, because at the end of each week you get to either rank up, stay where you are, or rank down. And this rank at the end of the season determines what kind of rewards you get, which is pretty standard, simple way of doing any ranked. But the issue with trials or ranked or whatever you want to call it in Arc Raiders is that this works on a weekly basis, like I said, and you are competing on a leaderboard of your own rank each week, right? So let's say you are on Die Hard 1. You are now competing with everybody on the server who is also your rank and need to get to a certain position in the leaderboard in order to progress, stay, or go down the rank. I actually like this system, by the way. Like, I'm not trashing on that. I actually really like the idea of competing with people on a leaderboard in order to progress rank. You're not competing against every rank like most video games would have you do. You're competing always only against your own rank. And I think that is a great idea. I actually wish all the video games worked like this in terms of ranked. I think it's a really great idea. Unfortunately, where it falls apart is when you are a solo player, like I am. Because the way tiles work actually is that the best way of doing them is at night. At night all the trials score goes for twice the amount. So if you do anything that counts towards the trials points at night, you get twice as many. So everybody at night usually does the trials. It's all well good, but you are competing against squads. I don't know why that works, how it works, but that's how it is. If you are in a squad of 3, each player that gets a certain amount of points, you get their points and yours. Which means that if you're in a squad of 3 and you need to deal 10,000 damage to a Rocketeer, and each one of you does 10,000 damage in that raid, you will end up with 30,000 damage. That's how this works. Now, I don't think I need to explain to anybody how unfair this might actually be for a solo player. Basically, it's impossible to compete with anyone on a leaderboard who is playing in a squad. So the most recently my rank was Tryhard 3, I think, and now I am Wildcard 1, which is the last notch of progression towards better rewards until it becomes probably impossible to rank up anymore as a solo, honestly. And in that last leaderboard, the player with the most amount of points had 100,000 points. I did my very best, but I am just a solo player, so my best score was 50,000. And honestly, I was kind of hoping that having half the amount of points that somebody in a squad got would at least land you to the top 20. But no, because unsurprisingly, almost everybody who is doing trials is doing them in squads, which means that almost everybody who is on the leaderboard has around 100,000. I was lucky to be in the top 50 or something, which means that I at least ranked up 1. You can max amount you can rank up in a week is twice. I got to rank up once, and honestly, it's actually just kind of painful to do. It's just painful. It's luckily like you don't need to do it. Like I said, for drops, which are arguably the most important thing here, you just need the 3 stars, which are relatively simple to get most of the time. But if you do care about the rank, if you do, because like at the highest rank you get a skin. Like I mean, some people just love to have a skin that is like a reward for doing well in the game, right? I would love a skin that does that. But I won't get it because just squads get privilege. I don't know why this is that way, but it is. So I will timestamp all of this in the video so that you don't need to listen to me explain to you something that somebody else on YouTube already did a much better job at. I'm sure there's at least 50,000 videos right now on the YouTube you can watch that will explain much better how trials work. This was just for the sake of the structure of the video. Now, what I want to talk about. Discourse in community about just trials in general, not just that the solo players have it so much worse, but in general how it works, how trials are graded, how the progression in the rank doesn't really make sense for a lot of people. Worst part is that when you get a bad trial, last week the trial was the hidden bunker, and the hidden bunker event had such a bad timing that a lot of people who have day jobs just literally couldn't get on the trial at all, which that just sucks ass. Like that's bad. Like if that is the reason you can't progress in a trial, that is shit. Like even if you are in a squad. And so people were complaining about this for at least a week, for at least 1 week when the hidden bunker was there. People were complaining about it, but to be honest, people didn't like trials since the day one, and I don't think personally trials are that well done. Like the idea is there and I like it, but it's just uncooked. The game is just not ready for it yet. And I honestly hope Embark actually settles up and does something with trials, because I like the concept, so it would be great if it worked better. And I think that is happening. I think Embark is now actively reworking that in some capacity, I don't know how. But there are a lot of hints right now in the community, especially from some of the community managers. They can't share any details. They can literally just pull your hair a little bit and say, hey, wait a couple of weeks, something's gonna happen. And that's basically what did happen. We got like some kind of, underlying message that like we should hang out for a bit. I do think that the next season will be the changes. I don't think they will change anything now, because I think the season ends at the end of the year, or maybe like 2 weeks before the end, or 1 week before the end of the year. I don't want to lie about this because I don't remember the dates, so it's just saying, I don't think until the end of the year they will be changing anything. But I do think the next year, in 2026, I think we will get a real different approach to trials altogether. I do think they're working on this, so if you got really pissed off at trials this year, I did too, believe me. I was doing everything in my power to get the rank up, and it sucks because I have all the time I could want, but as a solo player I'm fucked anyway. This bit when I'm competing with people who have 100,000 points every week, it's just like I can't reach that number. Even if I fucking shot myself into space, I can't do that. I really do hope they will just either put a different queue for people who are in squads altogether, which I think that is the most fair approach possible. If they do something else, that's up to them. But just my take on this is like there's no reason to torture solo players this hard about trials. It makes no sense. If the idea from Embark was that maybe people who play alone will try to play in squads, I did this at least like 15 times. I tried to queue up with random people, but I did try randoms. I did try to play in squad with randoms, and it's impossible to get people to do trials with you when they are random people. It's just like, yeah, there is a fundamental flaw in this ranked system. If their idea was that you will get random people to join you to do this, because you will never get to do that. So yeah, my point here is I would wait until the next year. I do think Embark is definitely redoing something about trials. So that is a good news, because honestly I would love to participate in trials much more, but I'm restricted because I like to play alone. So hopefully this will change quickly. And that's all I have. Actually, I don't have that much detail. about the changes themselves. All I know, which is like in air quotes, all I know is that I do think they definitely want to address at some point how squads work versus solos. I do think they will try to refocus not just trials but the whole video game around more people who are playing alone. I don't know what that means. I wish I could even show you the screenshot. I can't, but it's like that's kind of the cryptic information I have, is that the next year will be much more about solo play. It will not exclude squads completely. There will be things to do that are better to do in squads, but the point I think they are trying to make here is that they will make it so you don't need to play in squads at all the game, because it will be always much easier to go solo and team up with like 5 or 6 people who are also solo, which is something that is very common in this game anyway. So I think like their point is they're trying to lean into that idea more the next year, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, that's all from me. And yeah, if there is anything new that I hear, I will let you know.